Welcome to this very interesting discussion. So from Claude, we have Fable 5 and then we have Opus 4.8. Let us put them to test. It's the new kid versus the old guard. And then when you look at the final verdict, I was surprised to see the real winner. It's not who both of us think is. I need a good test case to test this out. I picked this use case. Analyze my son's graded answer sheet. This is not a trivial use case because the input is as PDF and then some prompt, and then the question paper is in printed text. The answer paper is written in a teenager's scrawny cursive handwriting in blue. Teacher's comments marked in red, handwritten again. Now the question paper comes in the beginning of the PDF file and then all the answers. So now the AI has to look at the beginning to figure out a question and then find a corresponding answer later, and the answer should be marked like this, 10A and 10B. So that's not really a trivial activity. The AI's job is cut out. It has to bring in classification, differentiate printed text and two different handwritings, bunch and classify the kind of errors, process the images because the whole PDF is as a scanned photo of different pages, apply some reasoning to validate teacher's input, consider teacher's data as golden if it's correct, flag correction and answering inconsistencies, and then apply Bloom's taxonomy to generate a report. It has its task cut out, let's say. So to make this happen, my setup is as thus. I wrote a Python program which through an API calls Fable 5 with the right inputs and then a similar kind of call to Opus 4.8. So now both Fable 5 and Opus 4.8 will give me the output files as analysis, and this is what I would be needing. And at the same time, the Python program analyzes the API performance when we call Fable 5 and when we call Opus 4.8. Let us look at that program and then come back here. Compare.py is the program. This is the one responsible to call the models and then generate the output required. I ran the program like this, the path to the PDF, and then a prompt. I kept the prompt simple to let AI do its job, and then I got some output. Claude Opus 4.8 took these many tokens, we will look at it, and then at the end of it, it gave me a comparison summary. And of course, it gave me the output files for both Fable and Opus, and this is what I would be consuming. The first of the verdicts, let us look at this comparison summary. This talks about API performance only. If you look at this, Opus 4.8, the cost was much lesser, but Fable 5 took a lot lesser time. Fable 5 consumed lesser tokens than Opus 4.8. The input tokens are same for both of them. So now Fable consumed 19.8% lesser tokens, costed 28.9% higher than Opus 4.8. Now I need to validate the output, but then as a parent, I would have accepted both the reports. But because this is a test of Fable versus Opus, I really wanted to test if the output is correct. I brought in a bench of judges, LLM-as-a-Judge, ChatGPT, Sonnet, and Gemini 3.5. I took all of this output from Opus and Fable and then fed it to ChatGPT, Gemini, and Sonnet and asked them to validate if the report is good or bad, and if then who is better and what are the inconsistencies between these reports. So this will give us a good idea of who generated a good report for me. Let us look at the output from ChatGPT, Gemini, and Sonnet. So this is the call to ChatGPT. So it analyzed the whole paper. It actually, out of all of this, ChatGPT gave me the best response. Between Fable and Opus, it took many points and then checked the way they worked. So cumulatively, this is what ChatGPT said: correct identification of deductions, evidence-based reasoning, completeness, pedagogical diagnosis, actionable improvement, practice material quality, and hallucination penalty. The most important of all of this is this hallucination penalty, and then Opus gets a penalty of 7 points and Fable gets a penalty of 3 points. Out of all of this, Fable stands at 96 out of 100 and Opus 4.8 stands at 84 out of 100. According to ChatGPT, comparing the responses from Fable and Opus, Fable gave higher fidelity, more complete coverage, stronger educational diagnosis, better remediation, and lower hallucination risks. Fable 5 demonstrates superior accuracy, completeness, and instructional value. Clearly, no two questions. ChatGPT's voting is for Fable. And now let us look at Gemini. Gemini didn't take names. It said output 1 and output 2. Output 1 is Opus 4.8. Output 2 is Fable. So here too, a clear winner for Gemini is output 2, that is Fable. And then it says output 2 is superior because of granular error tracking, Bloom's taxonomy integration, execution-ready action plan, and comprehensive practice bank. You see that between ChatGPT and Gemini, there is an overlap of category in which Fable wins. So clearly, Gemini's vote is for Fable. The same question to Sonnet 5, and then the Sonnet 5 says, Fable 5 has better internal arithmetic consistency between the two reports, greater error granularity and coverage, more complete remediation package, broader and larger practice bank questions. Gemini, ChatGPT, and Sonnet, all of them have clearly categorized why Fable 5 is a winner, and there is an overlap of these categories across these judges. So now Sonnet votes for Fable 5, ChatGPT votes for Fable 5, Gemini votes for Fable 5. So between Fable 5 and Opus 4.8, Fable wins by 3-0 margin. Before we declare a winner, hold on, let us figure out who the real winner is. Come back to the first verdict here. Here we said that Fable consumed 20% lesser tokens. The cost was almost 30% higher. So under the hoods, when Fable 5 has come out, it has come out with reduced token consumption and increased pricing. That means that Claude has brought in for itself operational efficiency at a higher price point. So here the clear winner is Claude because operational efficiency increases its margin, higher price point will directly increase its top line. So it's like this baker who at a time reduces the size of the bun and charges more for the same bun. So the real winner, it's not you, me, Fable or Opus 4.8. So the real winner here is Claude. Let me know your use case between Fable 5 and Opus 4.8. Are you ready to move to Fable 5 or still stick with Opus 4.8? Let me know in the comments below.